Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike big wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, dear listener, for yet another preview show which won't go ahead. It's the Dockers Debate.
Positive thinking.
Positive PMA. It is, yes, the Dockers Debate episode. I think we're up to 87, 88, nearly at the big 100 already, where we're looking ahead to tomorrow's game between the Erith Town FC and Burgess Hill Town. I am, as you've just heard there, with the Ronnie Corbett to my Ronnie Barker, Rob Grant. How are we, Rob?
Watcher. I'm fine, thank you very much. A bit cold because, you know, it's been parky, but and I have central heating problems. Anyone out there got a plumber? Let me know. But apart from that, yeah, all good.
This isn't live, Rob. So by the time this goes out, you've probably got it fixed, and you'll just have like a queue.
Yeah, by the time this goes out, it's going to be summer.
Yeah, by the time you've got that, you've moved. And as before, on the Burgess Hill preview show, we have Colin, one of the Hillians. Colin, how are we? A few technical problems earlier on, but we managed to get there in the end.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me on again. I really enjoyed the last time. Yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, we were just talking about the fact that Erith, we haven't played since last year. I mean, that's never going to get old, that joke.
Say it like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, last year was literally 2 weeks ago. But Colin, you know, we let's just jump straight back in. You had a home away game recently against Skeffel opponents from last year, Dill, and quite frankly, got a very, very impressive 5-3 away win.
Yes. First of all, huge thanks to Dill Town for getting that game on, because
No, don't thank them, the swines.
I actually stayed overnight down in Dill Town with best buddy, and I was there for the 10 o'clock pitch inspection, and luckily that game went ahead, so our travelling support team and everybody left about maybe 10:30 from Mid Sussex, got down there, and it was a really lovely afternoon.
Yeah. We was just saying off mic, you know, obviously with you know, where we're on the committee, and like, you know, they've got their little, is it like basically a big porta cabin thing, Rob, isn't it, with like a glass door on the front, that we like it down at Dill, and the fans love us as well. We tend to sit right in the middle of the home fans, don't we, Rob, when we go down there, and they're delighted. So any Dill fans who are listening to this, you know I am, I know you are, and then we end up roaring a lot off microphone, don't we, Rob?
We do, but then, you know, you are the agent provocateur of the Erith Town crew. You do like to go in and cause a bit of ruction.
No, sorry. As I remember, we should have had 3 penalties that day. They moaned because they should have got 1. So that's how it started. And also as well, Colin, don't ever drive back to London from Dill when there's roadworks, because we didn't get back home till about 2 o'clock in the morning that night. But I mean,
week away, was it?
Oh, do you know what? I needed to book a day off just to get home. It was ridiculous, wasn't it, Rob? But what do you know? What we were just saying as well, just before you come on the recording, a few weeks back, last year, you were around sort of where Erith was, about that 7th, 8th position, and I mean, Erith have dropped a bit, which I'll basically say, if you look at our games in hand, it's more so because we've not had any games really that we've dropped down the table. But you've gone in the other direction. You're now sitting quite plumb in 4th, but you know, you're 5 games in hand on Margate, which, you know, we're not going to say you'll win all of those, but if you win those, hypothetically, you go 7 points clear of them, and you're only 3 games in hand off of Ramsgate, you win them, you've got a bit of a sniff.
Yes, that is definitely the feeling around the playing staff, the management, and the fan base. So we're all looking forward to those games in hand. Unfortunately, I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on where we are at the moment. We are starting to realise that our beautiful old facility down in Mid Sussex is. To be fair, it was a prefab that was put in there in 1971.
Oh, the roof blew off, didn't it, off your clubhouse a
The
couple of
roof
weeks
blew
ago?
off.
Yeah. All the sort of material that keeps it waterproof was
The felt,
off
the
the
felt
off
all
the
blew
felt
off
blew
because
off.
we had
Yeah, that's right.
strong winds here on New Year's Day. So that game there got canned because of that, because we had no electricity, and then the water came in. It went through the electrics and stuff. So yet again, the club had to rally around very quickly to get that sorted. But we are in that realization now that our home facility, bless it, and we love
Needs a
it
bit of
very much.
TLC.
It needs more than that. We need to start again, I think.
So yeah, any plumbers who's doing Rob's ass, if you could go down to Burgess Hill afterwards, that'd be great. But do you know what though? Like looking at your form and all that kind of stuff, and how you're doing, and looking at league table. So you've played 20, won 14, drew 7. You've only lost the 3 games so far this season. You've
That's
only
correct.
lost one. Looking at it now, you've only lost one more than Margate, who up until recently were pushing Ramsgate for a top spot. And
And
do you know what?
he lost to
In all
Sittingbourne,
seriousness,
where everybody loses to Sittingbourne at the moment. So
yeah.
that doesn't really
Well,
count.
that's the thing. In all seriousness, I mean, we went, like we said before. Last season we went down to Burgess Hill, and then you guys came down to us for the FA Cup prelim. But I'll hold my hands up, Colin. You're doing a lot better than I thought. I mean, you know mugs and you know tier 4 mugs. Don't get me wrong, but you're doing well.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate those comments. A lot of hard work's gone into it. We've got 2 managers, as you know, Jay and Gary, and they've brought together what we think is a very robust squad of players now. We've got about 25 players who are all itching to play every single minute.
Yeah.
And so there's very fierce competition for places. So we feel we're in a good position to take on all these games in hand over the next 3 or 4 weeks. So we are in a good position, and we do feel on the pitch that we're in a good position going forward.
And your attendances are also, they show that as well, because your attendances have been good. They've always been reasonably decent. They fell off a little bit towards the end of last year, but this coming at the tail end of last year and this year, they look like they're good.
Tail end of last season.
Tail end of last season and this season, the attendances look like they're good. So obviously the team doing well is reflected in people, turning up to watch.
Exactly. Yeah. I would taper that a little bit and say that traditionally we've always had a really good fan base. We've been very, very fortunate here. We've got a fan base of about 400 to 500 people who regularly turn up, and they always have done. But as you say, we are steadily on the increase right now, and it's very pleasing to see if we can get those blasted games on.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? Having a look at the league table here, Colin. Rob tends to look at the individual stats. I tend to have a look at the league table. Respectfully, you've only let in the 25 games in 20. You compare that to Margate with 23. Sittingbourne, they've only let in 16. Ramsgate have only let in 20. But one thing that's caught my eye a little bit isn't so much the goals conceded; it's the goal scoring. Your games, yeah, okay. I know we just said you had a 5-3 away at Dill, but at the top of the tree, you've got Ramsgate 69 goals, Sittingbourne 71, Margate 46, not too far off, but Beckenham 52, Dill outside the playoffs 56, Ashford 47. Is scoring goals a little bit of a problem, taking aside the 5-3?
I don't know if you follow the Isthmian awards every month, you'll see that our goalkeeper, Slav Hock, won the December Golden Glove Award.
Yeah.
He won that because we only played 3 matches and he only conceded the 1 goal in those 3 matches. So at the back, we are concentrating on those clean sheets.
Yeah.
And in terms of going forward, I don't think we've got a problem in scoring. I think we're very happy to take the one nils and the 2 nils and the 2-1s. We're happy just to get wins on the board.
Yeah, but does that kind of in a way tie in with what Rob's saying there? Because ultimately, you know, the games you're getting a lot of people coming. The games must be exciting because, again, don't take it the wrong way. You are winning games. You've only lost the 3 all season. You've won like more than half your games quite comfortably. You've won nearly 3/4 of your games. But I'm guessing they're not going to be by massive scorelines.
No, you're quite right. I think there's been a couple of games where we've had walkovers, if you like, where we've won 4s and 5s. Nil. I think we had a 5-0 at one point against Littlehampton, I believe. But you're quite right. A lot of our games are quite exciting in as much that there's all to play for going into the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Rob, I've just got the little ping to say, look, we've not got overly long amount of time left, so I won't say we'll wrap it up straight away, but we'll start winding down if you will. Anything you want to add about individual performances, how we think the game's going to go, etc.?
No, I was just looking at the goal scorers is still the goal scorers. The way we've looked at it, but we looked at it last time round before we were going to play. It's still looking like Ben Pope and Alex Brewer, your main scorers, and then you've got like Ollie Davis and Brennan O'Neill behind them. So I don't suppose that's changed.
Well, it has a little bit because Alex Brewer has gone on a month's loan to Eastbourne Town.
Ah,
wow, okay.
He's a very impressive young striker. Like I say, we've got really high threshold for competition for places, and it was felt that Alex would benefit a month down at Eastbourne, where I'm sure they'll love him there, and I'm sure he'll play quite a bit of football for them in the next month. If he'd stayed with us, he's fighting for that position. As you say, we've still got Ben Pope, we've got Dan Perry, who's come back into the fold. We've got Tom Chalet, and we've just there's a guy called Stefan Viduka. We call him the Vulcan. He's from Eastbourne Borough, and he has started scoring some worldies. so we're hoping that he might do the same tomorrow night. He's a winger. So
we say you hope he does. We hope he doesn't.
You hope he doesn't.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't remember what you said last time, Colin. Is this your first visit to the Stanmore, or was you here for the cup game last year?
Personally, for me, it will be my first visit.
Okay, right. So the standard pint for Michael and Rob will be in order.
I have to say that we've been having a little ask around, and unfortunately, for one reason or another, not a hell of a lot of our supporters that can actually make it tomorrow. So there will be a few of us, but there won't be the normal crowd, unfortunately.
The normal Hillian army. Well, to be fair, the weather's absolute cack at the moment, isn't it? And ultimately, it is a bit of a slog from Sussex, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those. Well, do you know what? When you're doing the drive in your t-shirt and shorts on a Saturday afternoon, Rob, it's quite pleasant, isn't it? But it's a bit of a slog. So no problem if you don't come down. But yeah, if you are there, Colin, or if any of the other fans are there, then the invitation is always open. It'll be a 0% Guinness for me, dry January and all that, and
good man,
and whatever Rob would like, I'm guessing. But I'll tell you what then, Colin.
I don't like this. It's going to be a hot chocolate.
yeah, exactly, a Bovril.
I understand, and it could be a bit of a subtropical paradise out there tomorrow night, about 10 degrees. That's what I'm reading.
There's a rumor floating around it might get up to 10.
We'll get
the real feel will be like 7.
I was going to say get the suntan lotion, get the old crisp and dry out. You know, the old chip fat. Yeah. Absolutely. So come on, Colin. Let's have a little guess. What do we think the scoreline's going to be tomorrow?
I I'm going to go the same as before. I'm going to go 1-0, Dan Perry.
Dan Perry on. A close one. What are you going to go for, Rob?
I'm going to go for a 2-1 to the Dockers because I like to think we can edge it. And as we all know, I'm not a coward on these things, so I will stick my neck out.
Do you know what? I'm going to go. You don't score many goals, Colin, so I'm going to hold that you lot against you. And clean sheets do have to get dirty. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Erith Town.
Ooh.
Nice
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that would be that 2-0 for us. We'd be disappointed, you know. We would be very disappointed.
Oh, there we go. Well, we wouldn't be. Colin, as always, sorry we've got to wrap this up a bit sooner than we wanted to, but thanks for coming back onto the show.
My pleasure.
Chances are the game won't go ahead now we've recorded this, but thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing you,
Colin.
guys.
It's like you, Colin. You're the kiss of death for these things.
Yeah, ever since you come on, Colin, we haven't had a game.
My fault.
There we are. But no, thank you very much, Colin, for your time. Up the Dockers, I would say up the Hillians, but that's you guys, and we will see you all tomorrow in SC28.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.